Jackson Public Schools, Jeff Beal. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, how you doing, Bart?
Good. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too.
You all ready for the holidays?
Well, I am. How about this? Ask me if I know about a winter storm coming.
Is there a winter storm coming?
I got to tell you, there are more meteorologists in our buildings right now than everywhere I go. People are, Jeff, did you know? Jeff, did you know? Have you watched? We're watching the weather, everybody.
Well, I know there's a lot of fingers crossed that there would be a snow day just as a Christmas present. Hard to say, but it's not looking good for travel on Friday.
No, and so I think we've talked about this on the show. I'll hit it briefly. We talk as all the superintendents around the county. We talk constantly, but our crews, whether they're my crews and JPS crews, are out on the roads starting about 2 a.m. And I talk to them at 4:30 in the morning. Once, because they're clearing lots and driving roads and checking for me, and I talk to them about 4:30 in the morning. All the other crews are doing the same thing, and then we're all talking. And generally speaking, by 5 o'clock, 5:15, we've kind of all come to, this is where it's bad, this is where it's not. I'll try to get a call made then. And only on occasion, rarely, when we see the monster tsunami coming in, which apparently this one's the storm of the year or whatever, will we call the night before. And we try to make those calls. I mean, I think everybody out in the public knows if we see it coming and there's just no way around it, we try to make that call the night before because we recognize it impacts families. They have to take care of child care or make arrangements. So we really do work very hard to try to keep in front of that. And I have heard, like I said, there's a storm on the way. This is Michigan, everybody, and when we say there's a storm, how many times have meteorologists been wrong? So I always just I wake up and I see what the weather's going to be.
Yep, that's it. It's Michigan. We've got a lot of things happening at JPS that we want to talk about today. One is the success of South Central Michigan Virtual. That has been a big hit.
That program just continues to exceed our expectations. It continues to kind of grow. What I can tell you is that online learning is not going away. You see it extensively at colleges and universities. You see it in charters and in public schools across the country and around the world. And Jackson Public Schools really took a leadership role with South Central Michigan Virtual years ago. We started with about 78 kids, and last year we were just over 500.
Oh my gosh.
I know. We graduated 50 with a full Michigan Merit Diploma last year, and right now we're just under 500 kids. And what we know is that program continues. We see a lot of parents who are homeschool parents who are looking for curriculum, for their kids. We see a lot of students who, that became this comfortable norm, and we see parents in the workplace kind of look different. Well, school looks different for a lot of kids. One thing, though, about South Central is it's not like any other virtual school. What people don't realize is I've got counselors on site, so if you need to come in and meet with somebody, we've got resources there. I've got success coaches on site, so if you want to talk about graduation or what the next step looks like, or going to the Career Center or going to college, because you can participate in all of those things through our virtual school. We've got full-time teachers there. We've got half-time teachers there in the evenings. We run Saturdays. And so, if you need math help, I got a math teacher over there right now. And so she's there to work through the classes with our students to make sure that each kid has a path forward to success. So I'm thrilled with where that program is headed.
Are you tight for space yet?
We are bursting at the seams. The truth is we've been looking for space for quite a while, and we've explored some options within the mall, and last week we were exploring options in the old Sears building, and everybody says, well, that's still at the mall, but they're technically two different entities, because you got to remember Sears owned its own property that was separate from the mall. So we're looking at potentially spaces out there. The one thing we're looking to do, though, is what does that look like for partnerships? What does that look like? Where's the next evolution of this virtual education go? How can South Central Michigan Virtual truly truly grow beyond, even what we think about with truly K-12. So, I talk about the early college and I talk about Career Center and some of those things, but, I start and think back and I go, how can I help this group of kids find their way from the classroom, whether it's on the computer or not, into the workforce or into the workspace? And so, when we think of, things like JAM, or we think of skilled trades, or we think of some of those partnerships, and we're just scratching the surface. So right now we're looking for where those partnerships might come from, where might be some of those natural next steps, who might we want to bring into our space as a true partner to help provide complementary services for kids, because kids come to school every day there. Believe it or not, cyber school doesn't mean that you might never come in. If you're struggling, you might have to come in. But the truth is our staff reach out to touch kids every week, and where we see, look, you might need a reading intervention or you might need a small group, and we've got literacy specialists on site there to work with kids. And so it really goes much beyond just a computer and, hey, you do your school on the computer, right? And so, we're bursting at the seams now, and really have been for about a year, looking at where are we going to find kind of that next step. We actually blew up post-pandemic. We went from, like I said, 78 to about 300 during the pandemic, and then post-pandemic last year, 300 to over 500 kids. I mean, it was just crazy. Like, we just saw people go, you know what, the world is shifting a little bit, and I don't know that you're going to see it shift back to kind of that no such thing as virtual land anymore. Sweet.
I was at Sharp Park Academy last week, and Jess Gillespie, the principal, gave me a tour of what's planned.
Yeah.
And you're going to have I don't know what it's called, a chair collator.
Well, remember, one of the things we need to do is we need to make that building ADA compliant, right? And it's built on a hill. I mean, if you were to look at this thing, it's 3 different buildings, and they're separated by about 24 feet from top to bottom. And so you trying to figure out how you make this thing ADA compliant. Part of it is we take out that old part of the building on the west end, and then on the east end you see new classrooms up. The roof, I got progress report today, is about 90% done, so that way they're going to be able to work inside throughout the winter and have that. The goal is to have those classrooms ready by April, May. And so we see that. I know there's work in the media center because there's breakout rooms and classrooms and space in there as well. So a lot happening inside that building right now. Still on track, but this is all kind of one step at a time. Remember when you and I were talking about them, paving the parking lot the day before school? Well, there's still parking lot work to be done, but I love the construction process. It's all very slated, it's all very scheduled out, and so as we get the new classrooms online and we're able to move potentially kids from those west end buildings into the new spaces, that'll allow us to take down that, and then over the summer we can work on those on that parking lot and bus loop and construction down there. So
it's gonna be cool.
It's a neat dance, like I said, one step at a time.
Changing of the guard, the school board has a couple of new members, and a couple have moved on.
Yeah. Real quick, you see them on screen. Do we have them up on screen? Huge shout out to Aaron White and Cheryl Simonetti. Aaron served 1 6-year term. Cheryl served 2 6-year terms for a total of 12 years. They were instrumental in the bond work, and they were instrumental in so much. They bleed black and orange. Their kids went to school here. Aaron's kids still do. They are truly Vikings, and love their spirit, love what they want and what they brought. Both of them, I think, took turns on the school improvement committee, the policy committee, the budget and finance committee. I mean, they went above and beyond, even as board members. I think Cheryl took every possible class you could possibly take, and there are a lot in school board membership, and so she's worked very hard to do that. I couldn't say thank you enough for them.
Yeah, and your new members?
Derek Doby's coming on board, and Marilyn Acton Dowell. I'm very excited to talk to them. Had them over to the facility, a great opportunity to kind of talk about, getting into classrooms, getting into the buildings, really being part of that JPS fabric. And so, we're very much looking forward to having them join and serve. So thank you very much for your service.
Winter sports in full swing, and you brought some photos from some of the action. I think swimming.
Yeah, I think this was up at Mason. I think they took first up there, hence all the number ones. What a great group. Men's swimming is off, and I'll tell you, I saw some of the numbers from our strength and fitness coordinator. She keeps track of kind of those pre and post benchmarks, and you should see some of the scores, some of the metrics that our students are changing just in that first trimester of working with those folks. And it turns out in the pool, you see it there, and actually, they work with all the athletes, but these guys are going to have a great year. It's going to be fun.
Nice. Wrestlers doing well as well. This is a new space for wrestlers.
So everybody wants to know, what did you do with the old pool? What did you do with the old pool? This is the old pool space. It is not specifically a wrestling room. They wanted to have a meeting here. We had a nice setup in here, and I think we had lots of medals awarded this day. But it's a great venue for watching. So you see the mats roll out, but it's got a nice floor in there that kids can use for everything from, I think, pickleball to volleyball to, it's just a multi-use space. Very, very pleased with our wrestlers or for their season. But yeah, if you want to see what the space looks like, that was it. A couple of our female wrestlers as well. Lots of people don't realize wrestling is a co-ed sport, and female wrestling is on the rise. We have some wonderful wrestlers at Jackson Public Schools, and I look forward to kind of continuing to encourage that for all of our young men and women.
Nice. The gymnastics team, they're fresh off a win over Western I think just last week.
Yep. Yeah, they're doing well. Of course, remember last year we had state finalists, so this is a good group. Gymnastics continues to be a feeder program, all across the district, and it's a partnership with Lumen Christi. So it's not just JPS. That's a JPS Lumen partnership. Again, it's not, we partner with a lot of folks for a lot of things. The swimming team is a Western partnership. The gymnastics is a Lumen partnership. It's kind of fun. We're going to talk about hockey. I think Jackson United is a countywide partnership. So those are areas where JPS really kind of shines, and where we see a lot of really good things happen for students across our community.
All right, and there's still games this week. You've got bowling this afternoon, hockey this evening. Yeah,
absolutely. Hockey this evening. I hope you turn out, go out and see that. You want to see some fun, go watch our kids bowl. That's a great time. Basketball played last night up at Holt. They came in second out of a two-legged race out of that one, but that's a team that's really coming together. Really love where they're headed. Nice. So look forward to some wonderful basketball this year as well.
Yeah, the girls last night, big win over Lumen.
Yeah.
Great game, exciting game. All right, the Ambassador Dinner. I've missed the Ambassador Dinner. Is it coming back?
It is coming back. I think March 10th is the day. There it is on the screen. I got the date right. March 10th. I hope you will join us for the Ambassador's Dinner, and there's lots of ways to participate. Obviously, we'd love to have you there, but there's an auction you can donate to. The scholarships that are generated from this go to our students and help them go to college. You see that. We have corporate specific scholarships. So, you could, if you're a business and you're going, I want a scholarship, somebody to come into our field, listen, we probably want to partner with you. We want to have that conversation. And we've got, I think, 10, 12 corporate scholarships, but then a whole host of kind of general academic scholarships for our valedictorians, for our students to apply for. And these, again, they make the difference for students to, if I look at the cost of college, the more we can do as a community, and events like this really do go a long way towards that.
Great. Plus, it's a lot of fun and the food's awesome. So we'll look forward to it.
We have a great time.
Well, nice to see you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. And again, from my family to yours, Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a safe and Happy New Year. Watch the roads no matter what the weather is. And I'll be back to see you in 2023.
All right. We'll see you then. Thank you, Jeff. JPS Superintendent, Jeff Beal. Our downtown neighbor, Family Service and Children.